So well, we're currently parked up at Gate 12, Leeds Bradford Airport. Fun fact of today is Leeds Bradford is actually the highest airport in the world, in the UK anyway. Our routing today takes us from Leeds Bradford to Stansted. Stansted being a training centre for companies like Ryanair and Titan Airways and places like that, so it's quite a nice one to go into. We're going to go today 24,000 feet, we're going to cover 221 miles, we've got a nice tailwind all the way down, which is quite nice. It's going to take us about 55 minutes on our flight time today. It's a relatively short flight. There's going to be a lot to do in that 55 minutes. As soon as we get to the top of the climb, we're going to be looking to come back down for our descent. And in the meantime, between that, we've got to put everything in for the descent, so the aircraft actually knows where it's going, and so we know where we're going. Right. Inside the flight deck today, we've got a variety of things we're going to play with, one of which being these. You know what this does already. It turns us to the right, left, descent, and climb. Yep. It's all very proportional, so depending on how much or little you do something, depends on how quickly or violently the aircraft can react to you. Right. Next for us, two thrust levers, thrust lever number 1 and numero 2. These can be operated independently, but we tend to keep them together unless we've got a problem with the engines. If we've got a problem with the engine, we'll just pull the affected lever back. Right. Flaps, speed brake, landing gear, I'm going to do for you today on today's flight. Okay. The reason for that is there's too much to do anyway, let alone trying to ask you to do them little things as well. Down here we've got our flight control page. We've got dead engines at the moment. As soon as we get the engine started, we're going to get some hydraulics, and therefore when we start moving this, they're actually going to move the controls on the wing as well. Okay. And that's when we'll see various bits and bobs down here. Here we have our engine indications. Like in a car, you push these forward, numbers will increase. If you pull them back, numbers will decrease. Nothing out of the ordinary. The only thing we're really looking for is glowing red indications. Right. If that glows red at any time, it just means we need to pull this back just a little bit further. So my screen's on the left here, the same as your screen's on the right, so just kind of brush them to one side and ignore, they'll be absolutely fine. This little triangle here represents our aircraft. This white line is the direction we're heading or tracking, and the rest of the screen is going to be a moving map towards our destination of Stansted today. That's going to give us our flight plan route in a nice pink line. Over here we've got our speed, we've got altitude on the right hand side, and the blue and the brown thing in the middle represents the sky and the ground. Name of the game on that one, try and keep the blue at the top of the screen the best you can. Okay. Up here we've got our autopilot panel. You can use as much or as little autopilot on today's flight as you choose. I encourage you to hand fly as much as you possibly can, but there will be a 5-minute window where we've got to put the autopilot on. Okay. Up to you entirely. Sometimes people choose to leave the autopilot on afterwards just for that quick 5-minute break, because it is quite an intense hour. Right. Today we're going to operate as 2 airline pilots, and for that reason I'll be doing my duties, I'm going to get you doing yours. Yep. And hopefully it's going to be a real eye-opener to what actually happens day to day in the life of an airline pilot. Got any questions so far? Nope. Okay. Weather today, as standard in Britain, cloudy. Every now and then you'll see a bit of blue sky, but then that'll soon go. We're going to go today above the clouds, which will be quite nice, and hopefully Stansted should be quite a nice visual outlay, so we'll be able to see quite far on approach. If you're happy with all that, we can put the seatbelt signs to the on position. So if you want to click those 2 down, that's it. Let's give that a bit of a heads up for the cabins, and we can put the logo light and wing light 2 on. So if you want to click both of them down.
Both of them.
So that one down, and we can pull that one back, so we can move that one to the opposition, and that one goes on. Brilliant. Okay, make yourself comfortable. We're going to dive into the flight computer. So if you'd like to click the FMC button just down there, and if you want to click ident just at the top. Okay, that's just saying who we are, we've got. So 737-800, 26,000 pounds of thrust, and today's date, 30th of January 2018. That's nice and straightforward. Click pause in it next. And we're going to type in where we are. So we're at Echo Golf November Mike.
Echo Golf
November Mike. That's going to go on the top where it says reference airport. And we'll click route next. And we're going to move that to the origin. Okay, destination EGSS. That's going to go top right where it says destination. Flight number today being VFE 3018, so we can type that in as well.
Sorry, what was that again?
That one just there, VFE 3018.
VFE 30.
Yeah, 3018. Very creative with this user date. That's going to go on our flight number. Today we're taking off from 32, so we can just type in 32. That's going to go on the runway section just there, sir. And activate that. Execute that using that button there, and we'll click next page. Okay, now we're going to type in our motorway or our town, so we're going to type in Pol, P-O-L. It's a point just north of Manchester. That's going to go on the right hand side now, very top.
2.
We're going to type in M605.
5.
That's going to go just on that one there. And we're going to go to Daventry, just south of Coventry and Birmingham, so DTY next. That's going to go on the right hand side. Execute that. We'll click perf in it next. We're just going to type in the performance factors of the aircraft now, so we're going to go straight to 240 today, so we can type in 240.
240.
That's going to go on the top where it says cruise out. We're going to use 265/58, so we can type that in. 265/58. That's going to go on the cruise wind, second button down, right hand side. IC deviation today we'll use -2, so there's your minus button just there. Numero 2, and that's going to go on the IC deviation, third button down, right hand side, brilliant. Okay, starting on the left hand side now, we're going to type in 67 for the cost index.
67.
That's going to go just on there. We're going to use T.2 for reserves. That's going to go just on there. And we're going to use 51.1 for the take to zero fuel weight.
0.1.
And that one just there. Okay, so starting from the top, we're going to go to 24,000 feet today. We've got wind coming from the west, pretty much 58 knots. It's 2 degrees colder than it normally is. Between 0 and 199, 0 being the lowest, 199 being the highest cost of the airline, we're taking a medium of 67. We can land with 2.2 tons of fuel on board when we get back to Stansted, and it will be 51.1 plus 4.9, so we're going to take off roughly 58.8 tons today. We can click execute on that. We'll click N1 limit next, and take off. We're going to be using flap 5 for takeoff today, so just number 5. That's going to go on the flaps. We're going to use the following numbers: 136.
136.
That's going to go on V2.
V2.
And that's the speed we'll climb out if an engine goes on us. 126 for V1.
26.
Sorry, 126.
126.
Yeah, so if you just want to click clear twice.
What was that again, please?
126.
126.
That's going to go on V1.
V1.
128 for VR.
28.
That's the one. So we're going to go from here now up to here. So we're going to put our cruise altitude on this one, which is 24,000.
Okay.
We're going to put our V2 speed on that one, which is 136. That's brilliant. Now we're going to go working up here. So we're going to put the APU down to start. Okay, we're going to turn all fuel pumps on. We can put our isolation valve to auto.
Auto.
That one just there.
Oh, sorry. Auto.
APU bleeder on. We can put the, when this goes blue, we're going to click that one down and that one down. So the two inner ones.
When it goes blue.
When it goes blue.
Echo Golf November Mike Airport information Quebec 1420 Zulu weather wind 252 at 13 visibility 10 sky condition ceiling 2200 broken temperature 5 dew point 1 QNH 1021 advise on initial contact you have information Quebec Echo Golf.
Okay, see where it says 1022 down there?
1022, yes.
We're going to change that to 1021 using that one there.
1021.
That's the one.
Z.
Okay, we can put the anti-collision light 2 on. And now we can start our pushback to the right, I think.
Do we actually use the rudders in this?
We use them for takeoff, but the taxiing is done from this side using a tiller.
Right, okay.
If you're happy to start engine number 2, we can turn that to the ground position. And now we're looking for this to creep up. So once that gets to 25, we're going to pull this one out and move it to the top. Okay, if you'd like to turn that to ground position as well. And same procedure applies.
Yep.
Once that gets to 25,
Pull that.
up and at 'em. And all that's doing is it's just now spinning up the engine, putting a bit of fuel in. Now it's going to ignite and combust, and it's going to rotate the front fan. It's also nice to hear the engines.
It makes it more realistic, doesn't
It's
it?
not nice when they turn off. So is flying something you enjoy, or is it something that you're a bit nervous about, or?
I enjoy flying. I mean, I was in the army, so I did a lot. I flew with a lot, but not as a pilot, obviously not, but then helicopters as well.
Oh, lovely. All right then. You're a braver man than I would be. I'd never touch a helicopter. Okay, so I'm going to get you going through the before taxi checklist. So if I can ask you to just start at the top, work your way down, and I'll point some things out for you.
Can you pass me the glasses? Thank you. Generators.
Generators are up here, so we need to put both of these to the on position. Also,
Sorry,
backwards.
down. Okay. Probe heat.
Probe heat is located at the top here, so we can put both of them to the on position.
Anti-ice.
Anti-ice is not required, we're okay.
Hydraulic pumps.
These two in the middle.
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning, we're looking at both packs, and we're moving them to the auto position, so the centre position on each one.
Isolation valve.
In the middle can go to whatever it says on there. Is it auto
It's
or
auto.
open?
It's already
Yep,
on
that's
auto.
fine.
APU.
APU, we can turn the APU bleed off. And the APU down here off.
Engine start switches.
These ones. And whatever it says on there.
Continuous.
Continuous, okay, so continuous on both sides.
Auto brake.
We can set that one to whatever it says on the checklist.
RTO. Starter levers.
Start levers are idle detent, that's fine.
Recall.
We can check the recall by pushing that button just there. That's fine, so it says check the overhead, nothing wrong with the overhead. Now we can push the little master caution orange key.
Nose wheel.
Steering pin on that one.
Steering.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, no problem at all.
Disconnected.
Okay. If you'd like to set the flaps to number 5, so you've got to lift the flaps up, drop it into that position,
Yeah.
bring it back on the other side, and slide to number 5. If you'd like to click LNAV, VNAV, and hold that up till it goes green. Brilliant. And what we'll do is I'll just pull up round the end, facing this general direction.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a couple of briefs just to what to expect.
Okay.
and then we'll have to go back through another checklist, but I'll read the checklist out to you.
Okay.
Okay, so the first brief would be departure brief. So we've got no departure, but we're just going to take off from runway 32. So what we'll do is we'll put the power on, we'll climb straight ahead, eventually making a left turn towards Pole Hill, which is the north of Manchester, just up near Oldham. In terms of the runway brief, this will be a right-hand side departure. You'll be flying this takeoff. Up to 80 knots, we'll stop for absolutely anything. Above 80 knots and below V1, we're going to stop for any fire, which will be indicated by that. Engine failure, which one of these will just roll back. Control blockages, i.e. you can't move that. Or a blocked runway, which is highly unlikely on our occasion today. Above V1, we'll continue the departure. So even if we pull back and we get this warning, it means we're going to continue the flight. So we'll push the thrust levers up to probably about there-ish, and we'll just run any checklist required before making a good decision to come back to either here, maybe Doncaster, maybe Manchester, wherever it's going to be easiest for us. In terms of the simulator brief, we're going to use auto thrust for this, so we're going to push that forward to 40%. Once we're at 40% on the little screens here, we're going to click that black button downwards. The black button downwards is going to engage something called toga, where these are going to move themselves forward. Best thing to do, don't try and pull them back or hold them still, let them move. Just hold your hand over the top and freely let them go. Once we've got that, I'll call thrust set. You can put both hands on the controls. At some point I'll call out rotate, and that's where you can bring that back roughly to about there-ish before letting it go into the centre.
Okay.
We'll be using auto thrust, auto brake, engine anti-ice will be turned off, engine bleeds will be turned on, and that's your takeoff briefing. Okay?
Okay.
If we just go for the before takeoff checklist. So, the before takeoff checklist, flight controls. If you'd like to check your flight controls against this down here, see if there's any indication. That's fine. Flaps, we got number 5 in there. Stabilizer trim, I set that for you just now, that's absolutely fine. Takeoff briefing, you happy with the briefing I just gave you?
Yes.
And cabin is secure. Okay, when we put the takeoff power on, the aircraft's going to start rearing left and right, and you've got two pedals by your feet. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Right pedal makes the aircraft go right, left pedal makes the aircraft go left.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Make aircraft go fast. So, over to you now. So 40% initially. Okay, a little black button. They'll move themselves now. Both hands on the yoke, steer with your feet. N1 Henslet toga. Bit of right pedal. Thrust set 80 knots. Bit more right pedal. V1 rotates. Okay, let it go into the centre now. Okay, see those little pink lines in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay, they're like aim bars, that's what we're going to aim for now. A positive climbing gear up. I'm just going to grab your glasses, they're just by your feet. Okay, turn to the right. So what we're aiming for, oh, my mistake. Put that in, that would help, wouldn't it? So turn to the left a little bit more.
So I'm aiming for this line here.
You're aiming for this line just here. So see those pink lines in front of you? Okay.
I was looking at the wrong one there.
That's alright, that's what we're going to try and get in the centre. Pull back a little bit. over left and push forward. Flaps up, no lights. Sure, you never flown before?
Yes, I'm certain I remember it.
Looks alright, this is good.
Yeah, well, I do play a game called Elite Dangerous, which is a space simulator, but
Okay. Well, it seems to have worked.
well, you got it's got what we call HOTAS, which is like throttle, separate
Yeah.
throttle and joystick. So
Doing a bit of cloud surfing, I think. Can't get above them, but just seems to be constantly going up with them.
yeah.
So what does he do currently?
I'm unemployed at the moment, actually.
Oh, okay. And what did you do before that?
I was a project manager for a software company.
And how long were you doing that for?
I've done project management for nearly 15 years.
I mean, it's a long time.
Yeah. Came from a software developer background, so
Yeah.
when I left the army.
And when you say software developer, what kind of thing did that involve?
Well, developing, concentrated mainly on web pages.
Okay.
did things with databases,
Okay.
e-commerce, that sort of thing. And up to 2016, I was with a company that developed games for the gambling industry, slots. And just not long ago, with a company, they developed apps for iOS and Android.
Okay. That sounds stupid. What does iOS stand for?
I don't know at the top of my head, I must admit.
I've never been able to. Android I kind of get. iOS.
Operating system, I think it's
Yeah.
integrated operating system. I think that's what it's called.
I just like to call them Apple. Apple
That's
do,
it.
I think.
It's either it's iOS, it's Apple anyway. So
We're coming up to our cruise altitude. What we do when we get to the cruise altitude, we're just going to put the autopilot on for a few minutes and dial everything in for the approach. Right now, our top of descent is just past East Midlands, in roughly about 50 miles. So if you'd like to click that little button there, I'll push you back in the hot seat. And if you want to click departure and arrival, and arrival on EGSS, we'll take ILS 22 today.
ILS 22.
We'll click next page. We're looking for a Laurel 1 kilo, or Law 1 kilo. So if you keep going on next page.
1 kilo.
Yeah, LORA 1 kilo. How many bloody things are there? There you go, keep going across. Oh, now we get to it, keep going. There you go, Law 1 kilo. Okay, we can go via Laurel. And we can click execute on that. Have a quick look, make sure there's no... Yeah, that's about right. Okay, if you want to click init ref next. And we're going to type in 54.2. No, 54 point... oh, blimey. Oh, what's 3.6 minus 2.9? It's 0.7. Yeah, just 54 will do. So if we click 54 at the top, we're going to land today with 30 degrees of flap, so we can select that one twice. Brilliant. We've got 223 down here.
Yeah.
That course of 223 goes up here, so we're going to put that to 223 and that to 223. And that one, sorry. Okay, we can change that to number 2. And we've got a frequency, 110.50, and that goes down here. So the way these work is you've got the bottom half controls the first 3 digits, and the top half controls the last 2 digits. So 110.50.
110.
Okay, and transfer that across. And it's the same on this side. And transfer that one. And we're going to change both of these, that one to 11625. That's fine. And that one to 11625. That's great. We'll click Fix Next. Next page. Next page again. And we're going to type in EGSS. That's going to go top left. /25 on that one.
/25.
/25. That's going to go just below it. Next page again. And we'll type in RW22. And that's going to go on the fix bit. And then /5 on that.
/5.
/5.
Below it.
Just below it, yeah. Okay, can you see where it says Barrow 862 on your screen?
Yes.
We're going to change that to 548 using that one there.
548.
548.
Keeps changing for me. 5. Is there an knack to this? Because it just brings.
Yes, if you turn it one click to the left each time. There you go, keep going. Oh, sorry, hang on. Let's see what's going on. There you go. Yeah, if you turn it one, if you leave it for a while and turn it one click, it will turn by 20.
Ah, right.
If you do it too quickly, it will turn by like 40, 50.
Yeah.
So it's just a slow, continuous movement all the way around. We can wind that one down to 2,500. And this, at this point, you can take a bit of a break. I'm just going to give you what we've just gone through. We'll be following something called an ILS. Have you heard of an ILS before?
ILS.
Yeah.
Something landing signal?
That's the one. Instrument landing system for us.
Yeah.
So we'll be taking an ILS DME from runway 22 at London Stansted.
Right.
An ILS is going to get us down to the ground. So it's going to give us lateral movement and vertical movement all the way down to the runway threshold.
Yeah.
We've got our approach frequency set 110.5 on both sides.
Yeah.
We've got parkway set, which is part of our missed approach, again 116.25. Minimums at 548. If we can't see the airport by 548 feet, we've got power got to go back on. We're going to head back up and go somewhere else or try and get back in another attempt.
Right.
Runway elevation 348 feet, so we've got 200 feet make or break for that. We're going to approach today from the north, I want to say northwest, so we're looking for a minimum of 2,000 feet at the top there. Making sure that if we don't go below 2,000 feet unless we're on approach, otherwise we could bump into an aerial or something.
Yeah.
We've got check altitudes down the bottom here, 6 miles 2310, 4 miles 1670, 2 miles 1030, so it's a nice steady descent all the way down.
Yeah.
We're going to configure the aircraft today at 8.6 miles, so I'll be gear down flat 15, we're at 8.6 miles. I'm going to give you the cue for that anyway. At 7.1 we'll be fully configured for landing at flap 30. 3-degree glide slope, so we're just going to take half our ground speed. So in the grand scheme of things, we'll be taking flap 30 today, that's between 120 and 130, roughly 700 feet per minute. 55% power usually does that, but we'll leave the auto throttle in anyway. We're going to see high intensity approach lights, so we'll see the runway quite far out. Puppy lights will be on the left. These puppy lights are 4 lights. They can be 2 red, 2 white, 4 white, 4 red. 4 red being too low, 4 white being too high, 2 red, 2 white, bang in the centre. What have we got? We need a minimum of 550 metres, and today's going to be a pretty good day, so I think we don't have to worry about that too much. Missed approach, straight ahead, not above 3,000 feet. At 3.1 we're going to turn right onto heading a 354 back into Barkway. That's why we've got that set down there. I'll give you a bit of help with that. Can't go any higher than 185 knots, and we definitely can't go above 3,000 due to London airspace. 4 lock and approach usually does it for us. That'll be about right. That's going to give us our guidance all the way down, following those pink lines. And as stated, 55% flat 30 or break 2, that'll be fine. We have 20 miles till we start descending. So at this stage you can do whatever you want to do, whether you want to take pictures, whether you want to ask any questions, or go back into half line. It's your choice, exactly what you would like to do.
Got no questions. A lot to take in, like you said.
Yeah.
It is a lot to do being a pilot anyway. I know most of it's done automatically, but you still have to be there.
It's knowing what's got to go in. When you do choose to disconnect the autopilot, you can just click that button twice, that puts you back in the hot seat. Click that back in. So whereabouts have you guys come from today? Coventry, oh, so not too far away.
No, not too far.
Do you live near the airport or a bit further on?
West side, part of Coventry. So
Okay.
not far from the airport, is it?
We've got roughly 108 miles to go. That's going to take in the region of 15 minutes for us to do that 107 miles. So we're going to be bang on target, bang on schedule. Okay, what can we do next? If we go for the before descent checklist, our before descent checklist is as follows. Landing altitude, we checked the landing altitude just now, it's 348. We've got 250, so we're going to be over pressurised. That's absolutely fine. We'd rather be over than under. Recall, if you'd like to check your recall, we're pushing that little black box again. Next one along, just on the left. Next one on the left, that's it. Okay, so check the overhead, no problem, so click the marked caution light. Approach briefing, are you happy with the briefing I gave you just now? Brilliant. Auto brake.